If you remember a few years back, Ben Simmons was once a highly touted prospect that was even compared to the great LeBron James with his high basketball IQ and ridiculous athletic ability. But 6 seasons later, he didn't live up to the hype, but also sunk beneath mediocrity with his off-court issues and poor play inside the court. And right now, he just seems completely lost and broken. Along with that brokenness comes a ton of moments where he made a fool out of himself, and today, we're going to run down some of the most embarrassing stuff that happened to the former #1 overall pick, Ben Simmons. It has always been an open secret in the NBA that Ben Simmons can't shoot, but none of us believed what he just pulled off in the closing minutes of their Game 7 matchup against the Hawks in the playoffs last year. I mean, with under 4 minutes left in the game, the 76ers desperately needed a basket to tie things up. Simmons then spun around after Gallinari gambled, and at this point, Simmons could have just laid it up or dunked the ball for an easy basket, since no one is around to stop him. But, for some strange reason, we know Simmons can't shoot the ball. But from that distance? Man, that's just unacceptable. Right after the game, a reporter asked him why he passed up that shot, and his response was,
Nah, I just assumed Gallo was coming over my back, and then Collins moved out, and so I thought we just had a wide open dunk.
Sure, he had his reasons for passing the ball, and alright, let's give him the benefit of the doubt on that play. However, his former teammate Joel Embiid ain't buying his explanation, and subtly fired shots at him by saying, I'll be honest. I thought the turning point was when we had an open shot, and we made one free throw and missed the other, and then they came down and scored. Now, aside from that moment, there were other times when Simmons humiliated himself while playing for the 76ers. Like, this play, right here.
As a player, you're going to get those minutes. There's no substitution for hustle route.
So the 76ers were dominating the Clippers in this game, and since they were up big, Simmons tried to get some practice with his jump shot on this possession. Now, at first, it looks like Simmons was going to hit the shot by putting Tobias Harris on skates with the behind the back, but I think I was expecting too much, because here's what happened afterward.
There's no substitution.
Yikes. Simmons just totally bricked that one really hard to the point that you can really hear the ball bouncing off the backboard. Anyway, after going AWOL for some time, Simmons eventually forced his way out of Philly and got traded to the Nets. Despite getting what he wanted, Simmons decided to sit out the entire regular season, citing that he was not mentally ready to play, and when his new teammates asked for help in Game 4 of the playoffs against the Celtics, Simmons reportedly bailed out on them. According to FS1's Rick Bucher, he claimed Simmons suddenly left the Nets group chat when they asked him if he was available to play in the crucial Game 4 where the Nets were on the verge of being swept in the series. They're having a team chat before Game 4, thinking he's going to play against the Boston Celtics. From what I'm told, Ben just left the chat. They asked him, "Are you going to play?" Ben left the chat, like he didn't even answer the question, and just left the chat. And KD was like, "This is what I signed up for? This is who I'm playing with?" Once again, Simmons put his guard up about the rumor, saying that it wasn't true, and eventually he defended himself in a podcast, saying, "That's what I hate about the internet. People just make anything up, and it just gets taken too far. But no, I didn't leave the group chat. I actually texted Patty Mills about that, and I was like, yo, did I leave the group chat? I was confused, and he's like, bro, no one even said anything in the group chat for a month. Nobody even talked in that group chat when we got to the playoffs." Well, regardless if this rumor was true or not, Simmons always finds a way to not blame himself for any mishap or issues he got involved in. Anyway, this season though, Simmons finally suited up for the Nets. But, despite already changing zip codes and uniforms, Simmons is still the same guy who can't make baskets, and it seems like he's just going to keep getting worse as time goes by. In his 5th game this season against the Mavs, he tried this time to score at point-blank range to make things easier for him. However, here's what happened.
Make you pay all night. Durant, give and go. Simmons, it's an air ball.
Now, I've been watching the NBA for years, and I've seen a ton of air balls coming from long distance, as well as botched dunk attempts. But never once did I see a 6'10" guy airball a layup in an actual NBA game. That was just unbelievable. But sure, some say that Simmons is still finding his footing on how he can fit in on a team that is built around Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And speaking of that, Simmons once tried to impress his new teammates by doing things he shouldn't be doing. And just like before, it backfired on him. And in the end, he's the one who just got embarrassed big time. I mean, check this play out.
Here's Simmons, 4 seconds, Simmons on the attack.
With the clock winding down, Simmons took it upon himself and ran the entire length of the court just to brick a potential buzzer beater. We've been saying that Ben Simmons is a horrible shooter, but apparently he proved us wrong, because according to this Twitter post, Simmons is actually a far greater shooter than we thought he would be. I mean, he's a great shooter in the sense that he's a great Call of Duty player, you know, the extremely popular first-person shooter video game, and he's so good at this game, he's actually logged more minutes playing Call of Duty than playing inside an NBA court. In total, Simmons has managed to play 458 minutes more in Call of Duty, and you know what? If he just used all those minutes in doing some basketball shooting drills instead of gunning down other random gamers, I bet Simmons would become a real sharpshooter inside the court by now. And speaking of minutes, he's currently averaging 31.8 minutes per game across the first 6 games this season. And did you know that Simmons has already fouled out twice in those 6 games? I mean, here's one of them.
To just throw that pass over the defense and finding O'Neal.
There it is.
There it is. So now,
with lots of time left in the third, Simmons was caught reaching in the cookie jar. The refs blew their whistles, and he was done for the night. In fact, Simmons had trouble managing his fouls. Like in the first game of the season, he actually had more fouls than points. And if you sum it all up, he had accumulated 26 fouls while only tallying 37 points across those 6 games. I mean, that was insane and totally embarrassing at the same time. Now, in case you're curious how he got booted out in the other game against the Grizzlies,
here's Simmons, and
well, after the game, Jaw said that he knew he got Simmons at that moment since he already went through almost the same thing back when he was still a rookie. My rookie year, it was in Philly. The same situation happened like that versus Ben. In the first half, I went to look at the coach to get the ball, and he ran through the ball, got the steal, and went and dunked. Now, as for reference, I think Jaw was referring to this particular play that happened 2 years ago.
Thanks largely to his efforts right now. Their largest lead at 11, and there's a steal by Simmons and a foul by...
Anyway, he continued saying, I knew it. At that moment, I was rolling the ball and I looked at the coach and I see Simmons, so I knew I had him. He was going to press up and I was going to force the ref to make the call. Though it was still a pretty embarrassing moment with the way he got fouled out, Simmons lashed out at the refs for botching that call, and actually, I kind of agree with him on this one. You tell me, you saw it. I don't want to get fined. I just saw the play online. It wasn't a foul. He called it a foul and made a mistake. It is what it is. Really frustrating, but all I can do is support my team from the bench. It's frustrating because it's late game, 4th quarter, physical close game. It's the NBA. It's not college, not high school. People are going to get hit. It's basketball. Well, that's a wrap on this one. Do you think Ben Simmons will make a comeback this season? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more NBA content. Thanks for watching. See you guys in our next video.